live here on Pick Dawgz and Sports YouTube channel about social media. We'll get you out of here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's delivered live for your sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. Brian Biller with us, Rod Zawacki, Wayne Scott with a special appearance today. Jovan will sign in momentarily. Dana, bottom of the hour. Jay Briggs. And we also have Kevin Thomas. Kirk will also sign in as well. Here's how the lineup for this evening. Late edition today with Wayne Scott. He's got a hot pick for you guys. So you know when he signs in late, you know it's a good one. Wayne in, then Jay, then Kirk, then Jovan, Bitler, Thomas, Zawacki, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, baseball on the board tonight. 14 games remaining after the Cubs got their victory. So let's get this show underway. It's a large one. We're going to start off with Wayne, a late edition. We had an opening in the beginning, so Wayne took it, and we'll catch him over at Pick Dawgz Premium. We'll bring in Wayne right now. We're ready to roll here with action from the Sweet Science in the boxing ring. Let's get him here. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony C? What's going on, Pick Dawgz family? Hope y'all doing good today.
Everything's going well, all right. I know they had this press conference just over in L.A. not too long ago. I saw they put Lampley was together with Larry Merchant. So it's pretty interesting there. They're going to be together again. It's been a while since I missed HBO boxing there, Wayne. But here we go. Crawford and Medramov in this one going head-to-head.
Yes, sir. We're going to get straight into Medramov. Is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's early in his career. Undefeated fighter. But he's spotting good talent, but at the same time, strong fighter, good combinations, just great background. But it comes a time in boxing when you put people too early, put them up against the wrong person too early. And this is one of them instances. I understand they're trying to make history. I understand that they feel that he's ready. But we got Terrence Crawford coming up in weight. I think these heavier punches make him want to get this guy out of there earlier, and I think he can. This guy leaves himself open because he relies on his punching powers. He's a heavy puncher, and when you punch a lot, it leaves you vulnerable. And Terrence Crawford is one of the best counter punchers in the game, so I think he will win this fight by stoppage, which is minus 135. I do give the guy enough credit to make it to the 9th through 12th round, and you can get plus 240 on your money if you bet that Crawford stops him between the 9th and 12th round.
All right, we got Wayne here on Terrence Crawford by knockout. Crawford is the favorite in this fight. 902 here. We got other ways to win here. Make money on this fight is take Crawford by KO. Crawford plus 240 to knockout in 9. So you just see Crawford kind of plus 240 this Saturday on pay-per-view. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dawgz for tonight's action. 14 games remaining here for Major League Baseball. And Wayne having a great year in baseball. You see 2,294 units of profit in Major League Baseball. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I got my MLB better today, and I have a 3-pack for you guys. Like Tony said, been solid in baseball, looking to close it strong. Really looking to get into all the sports that aren't popular right now, like Olympic ball, and looking to get in the Olympic track. So just keep an eye out for those 3-packs. It's going to be matched up here late for football, same game. Just looking to lock in for you guys. So let's get right.
All right, guys, board here with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dawgz Premium. You see the great results here from Wayne, 2,294 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dawgz Premium. So get on board with Wayne. Use promo code PICK IT. Check out, save 15% off all his packages. And you guys like that 3-day pass here on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, loaded with big cards here for Major League Baseball and more. So get on board with Wayne right now. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Have a great night, and we'll catch up with you next week. And good pick on
Appreciate
Germany.
You for having me. Yeah. Appreciate that. I'll try to get on here this Sunday, but if not, I'll see you next week. Appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. Well, Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on. Yeah, Germany with the win here, 85-71. That was on Wayne, and I think also Kirk also liked that side as well. Continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, let's bring him in. Jay Briggs, catch him over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Of course, catch him on the morning shows, catch him on the weekend shows as well. Let's see if we can get Wayne in. We can bring in Jay in right now, ready to roll here. action here from Major League Baseball. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, my man? How you doing?
All right, doing great. All right, here we go. Dodgers here on the road to face the Athletics team. The Dodgers will be favored $1.42, total 8.5.
Hey, man, it's no secret that the Dodgers, they're slumping right now. They're kind of, the injury bug has gotten them, and they haven't really been the same team since it's gotten them, They're on this extended road trip, and the road trip hasn't been kind to them, and it continues into this series. And they're going up against, I know, on paper, one of the worst teams in baseball full season-wise. But, I mean, when you look at the last 2-3 weeks, that's not who this Oakland A's team has been. Based on who these current two teams have been in recent form, I think all the value in this game is on the Oakland A's, man, and Mr. Estes. Estes has won 3 of his last 5 starts for the Oakland A's. I think it's going to be a tough series for the Dodgers. As I think their struggles may continue into this when they need to get healthy. So I'm attacking the plus money here. I love the value on the Oakland A's at home at the crib.
Yep, Jay here on Athletics plus 130. Massive issues here with the Dodgers. We always talk about their pitching, but their everyday lineup has definitely been impacted. No Muncy, no Betts. Of course, Freeman going some tough news with his kid. So there's a lot of, this Dodger team really, really struggling. Got Ohtani at the top, Will Smith there. Lux batting third. He was the guy they wanted to ship out because he was having difficulty on the position. But, man, much different team now. Everyday lineup really impacted here.
Yeah, man, it's just not the all-star team you think of when you think of the Dodgers that we were going to see in the offseason. They're gonna be back. They're gonna get their guys back at some point in the season. But I think right now, while we're here, we gotta fade them. I know it's the Dodgers, but they also have 46 losses on the season, so they're fadeable. And I think, although it's Oakland's been playing some decent baseball at home, man. I gotta take a shot with them.
All right, Jay's gonna be on Oakland plus 130 against the Dodgers. This one tonight, 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Doctor for tonight's action. We do have 14 games remaining here on the board for Major League Baseball. Also up right now. Well, that's what it is. It's pretty much baseball now until we get to the next preseason football. A little while, a couple weeks away from WNBA relaunching. Great year for Jay, 1,168 units of profit. What do you have going over at the site?
Money-making Friday, heading into a money-making weekend. Today I have 3 plays over at Pick Dawgz Premium. You can scoop them up all in a 3-pack, or you can scoop up just my top play in Major League Baseball, man, my $19 Major League Baseball play of the day. But like Tony T said, man, football is back, man. We had a game last night. The push heard around the world, man. Game 1, we get a push. We already back in football mode, man. We're here. So I will say, fortunately, I was on the winning side, but it doesn't matter because it pushed on the Bears and the over. I bet preseason football pretty heavily. I ain't gonna lie to you, I do. And we've been turning a profit over the last 2 seasons doing exactly that. So if that's your thing, you should look on hopping on with me long term as well. But hey, we're in the dog days of summer. That's coming to an end here shortly with everything coming back. So hop on with me, man, and let's continue to kick out the crap out of the books here at Pick Dawgz.
That's right, guys. Got to go to Jay Breaks over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Get on board with this long-term pass. You guys like that 3-day pass over the weekend? You can do that. Just remember the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. All right, Jay, as always, great having your show. Have a great night, great weekend. We'll catch up with you again on the drive-thru next week. But of course, you'll be hosting the weekend show.
Of course, you guys can catch me here a couple times a week here with Tony T. Every week and every day on the morning show here for Pick Dawgz, Monday through Friday with Mitch, Chris, Romanelli Wednesdays, and Costi on Mondays and Fridays. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I host the show, man. So tune in tomorrow as I will be in the host chair. Not really sure we'll be there, but last Saturday we had a full show. We had that was a fun full show. So we'll see if we have another one of those lined up, man. So y'all want to be on the lookout for those, especially with football and everything coming back. A lot of room to talk, a lot of room to make some money, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here.
That's right, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, set notifications, be notified with these live shows because you get picks during real time there against really live bettable numbers. All right, Jay, have a great weekend. Catch up with you next week.
Appreciate you, Tony T, as always, man. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Jay Breaks here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. We're covering pretty much all of baseball today, so we don't have really a chat pick of the day so in the primetime game. So let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, we're going to bring in Kirk Stewart. Let's make sure that he's signed in. He was going to sign in after he has signed in. So let me go ahead and bring him in right now. Catch him over at Pick Dawgz Premium. We'll get baseball coverage from him. We'll also ask him about some of the Olympic basketball men's games. Still tomorrow, we're going to close out group play tomorrow, and then of course then we get into the knockouts. I'm sorry, we are breaking. That's right, they are playing tomorrow because the women still are playing too as well. Kind of a mixed card tomorrow. Let's bring in Kirk here, ready to roll here with baseball. Kirk, what's happening?
Not much. How you doing today?
Doing great. All right, here we go. Blue Jays on the road to face the Yankees here. The Yankees $1.72, total of 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one simple. I'm on the over in this one. The way the Yankees have just been hitting the ball lately has just been insane to watch. I mean, they really seem like they're out of that mid-season slump that they were in. 7 of their last 8 games have gone over 9. They've been scoring a ton of runs in their last 6 games, 53 runs over their last 6 games, and scored 6 runs in all of those. And they're facing Kevin Gausman, who is 9-8 with a 4.4 ERA on the season, but against the Yankees in 3 starts, he has a 10.97 ERA. And the Blue Jays have the second worst bullpen in terms of team ERA. So I could see the Yankees getting 9 runs themselves. Stanton should be back. Jazz is on fire. Judge is on fire. This whole lineup really is helping out the guys that needed the help in Soto and Judge during their little slump. So all those guys are back. And Stroman has not been that good either at home. He has a 4.47 home ERA, had a 5.5 ERA in the month of July, so he's heading in the wrong direction this season. So over 9 seems like a good play. The Blue Jays have actually been hitting the ball well, decently as well, and 7 of their last 8 games have also hit the over 9.
All right, so we got Kirk here on Blue Jays Yankees over the total here of 9 runs. Yeah, there's one thing to note here. You have seen obviously the Yankees offensive production improve, as well as the Blue Jays. This is the part of the Blue Jays team that's really been tanking. You kind of look at their everyday pitchers; their numbers aren't that bad, except their bullpen. But man, it's been this offense that's been really struggling, but they've been able to put some runs across of late.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, same with the Yankees. They were in the slump, but they both look like both teams are actually hitting the ball decently recently. So, and I don't love the pitching matchup, as I went over the numbers already. Gausman with almost an 11 ERA across 3 starts against the Yankees this season. The Yankees are going to be licking their chops every single batter for the Yankees probably, and it's not going to get any better once this Blue Jays bullpen gets called into the game. So I could see a 10-7 type of game. I mean, I think this is definitely hitting the over.
There we go here, Kirk, here on Blue Jays Yankees over the total of 9. All right, Kirk, I know we've been keeping an eye on Olympic basketball. We conclude group play. We already have 6 teams qualified for the quarterfinals for the knockout stages. Two more slots left to go. Puerto Rico, still with some hope, but it's a faint hope, man. You got to beat the U.S. by 60. That's not going to happen. U.S. and Puerto Rico here early at 11:15 Eastern time here. We see USA going to lay a bundle here, 35.5.
Yeah, and I'm laying the 35.5 with the U.S. I mean, Serbia beat them by 41, and the U.S. beat Serbia by 26. Not that they're going to win by 60 or anything, but this Puerto Rico team is awful. They have Tremont Waters and Jose Alvarado. Alvarado's nursing an injury. Tremont Waters just way too small against this. He's going to be going up against Drew Holiday. He's not going to be able to do anything, and I haven't seen anything from this Puerto Rico team. They don't have a lot of fight in them, and yeah, I think this is the game where the U.S. actually wins a game by 40+, so I'm laying the points with the U.S. in this one.
All right, laying the points there, that big number there. Like I said, you empty the bench, but when you empty the bench, you got all-stars coming in. So it's
exactly.
All right, I mean, you're not getting scrubs. You're getting top flip performers here. All right, this game has some meaning here for South Sudan. It looks like they're going to be fighting for a quarterfinal round. Luol Deng put a lot of money in this program, and they've shown played well for themselves. Had that good friendly game against U.S. South Sudan, Serbia. Serbia's going to be favored here about 14 points, total 178.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to lay the points with Serbia in this one. I mean, they're still one of the top 3-4 teams in the world, I'd have to say, along with, I don't even consider France in that bucket at all anymore after today's game. I'd probably say Germany, Canada, U.S., and Serbia, probably my top 4 teams in no order at all. And South Sudan, they made a lot of tough shots against the U.S. to stay in that game. This Serbia team plays together. They play as a unit. Jokic will be rested as he only played 23 minutes in the first game. And they're just too tall. They're just too lanky, this team. I don't see how they're going to be able to body Jokic. Jokic is going to do whatever he wants. And I think Serbia breezes with probably a 20-plus point win, in my opinion.
Yeah, 20-plus win there. Of course, we're looking here at possible entries. It looks like the last 2 teams into this might be Greece and South Sudan. I'm just trying to figure out who might be the U.S.'s opponent in the quarterfinal round. I'm just thinking, based on what I'm reading here, it might be Greece.
Yeah, I was reading that as well, and I mean, Greece almost blew that game today. I don't know if you saw it, but they were up like 21 in the third, and they were lucky not to blow that game. Giannis looked pretty good. They had a couple other guys that stepped up, but it doesn't seem like this Greece team really has a lot in the tank. I think the U.S. would probably be favored 20-plus points, and I don't know if they'd cover 20-plus, but I think that's how the line would look.
What did you take from that game tonight, earlier today, in this one here, as we had the final here, Germany covering, as you said, you and Wayne both are on Germany, 85-71 against France.
Yeah, I actually turned it off at half. I was disappointed in this French game. I was looking for, or France team, I was looking forward to a good matchup, and this Germany team, led with Schroeder, I mean, he's just such a different player when it comes to international basketball. It's crazy how some of these like role players in the NBA are like stars on this global stage. So I think Germany has a legit chance to go to the finals. I mean, if Canada and the U.S. play each other in the semis, I think Germany will probably come out of the other semifinal.
There we go. With that one here between, it just seems to me I have not been impressed at all with France's games. I mean, they haven't put together. I mean, I know in the first 2 group stages they can't put together 48 minutes of basketball.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just tough to watch because they don't really have a playmaker. Like Gobert just kind of stands there on offense. Wemby jacks a 3 or goes to the hoop. Batum doesn't really move like he used to. Not that he could ever really move that well. And then, I mean, Yabusele, Ntilikina, a ton of different kind of no-name guys, but kind of have scored a couple buckets guys, but nothing really that like screams, oh, this is going to be a dangerous team along the rest of the way.
No, not at all. Not at all whatsoever. All right, Wayne. Not Wayne. Wayne on my mind because we're talking about this game too. Okay, I know the women. Have you keep track of women? We got a lot of action coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday in the women's bracket.
I've watched a couple games. I watched U.S.'s games against Belgium. I watched Serbia play Japan or China. I think Japan. Those are the only 2 games I've caught so far. But yeah.
All right. There we go. So the women will be in action. Probably talk more about it as we get into the knockout stages. Obviously, the finals here. U.S. a big favorite there. They've been impressive. Although that game against Belgium, Belgium was a little uncomfortably close to them. I thought there'd be more separation.
Yeah, no. As I was doing my research into that one, my first lean was towards the U.S. with the points, but then I just kept seeing articles and everything that said Belgium is going to give them a tough test, and they did. So I personally stayed away from that game, but Belgium gave them a good test. Got to give them props for that after losing to Germany.
Yep, no doubt about that. All right, we've got Kirk on record here. Blue Jays, Yankees over 9 here for tonight's action. All right, Kirk, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. We got Major League Baseball on the board tonight as we've got 14 games still on the board. What do you have going over at Pick.com Premium?
Yeah, so I think some people hopped on my 3-pack today, which included an Olympic play at Spain plus 9.5. So that was a nice day, nice cash to start the day. Now I got 2 plays left, one for long-term subscribers, and I got one that's still up for sale, my best MLB play of the day. Probably have a play in the Olympic basketball tomorrow as well. So hop on a 3-day, get all the weekend. I'm plus 468 units since Monday, so should be a good end to the week for me.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Kirk Stewart over at Pick Dawgz. Get a lot from Kirk He's into the props. He's into the baseball, also into Olympic basketball, as we are now. Now through the men, after tomorrow, we're into the knockout stages. So get on board, use promo code PICK at checkout, save that 15% off. All right, Kirk, as always, great having you on the show. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you next week, but we can always catch up with you every day here on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel. As you got your video shorts, you keep an eye on MLB totals. And you and Goran will be getting together soon, as European soccer is not too far away.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's 13 days away from the first domestic league starting in Europe, which is La Liga, on the 15th. So it's really right around the corner. Me and Goran already working on videos and how to change it up a little. We might do some alone, some together, like Champions League together. Might do just regular games together. So there's going to be a lot of content come soccer season. Yeah, MLB got my 2 plays every day on the MLB over-unders. Been pretty hot, actually, the past 10 days or since the All-Star break. So make sure to check those out. I think both of my plays today still haven't started yet. So if you want to get in that parlay, I think it was about plus 280 odds for those today.
Nice. So, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set notification. Keep an eye for Kirk with his totals for Major League Baseball as they drop and you get notified. Also, soccer on the way as these leagues aren't too far away from getting started. Keep an eye on any. We're now into knockout stages of Olympic soccer. I know a lot of folks don't like to cap it much because you have these young players in here mixed with a few veterans.
Yeah, I actually watched a little of that Morocco game, and I was really mad at myself that I didn't put in a pick on Morocco. I don't know. I talked myself out of it with being from the U.S., so I just couldn't bet on Morocco. But Morocco and Spain look like the teams to beat in this one, so that's all I have so far. But I would probably lay a future on Morocco. I think the U.S. isn't a great team, but I think Morocco has a lot to play for here, especially with their best player in Ashraf Hakimi coming to this tournament, captaining the country. Really means a lot to these younger players, and they really backed it up today.
There you go. Kind of like your farm systems. Pretty much you're seeing kind of the farm teams, the farm players in here in the Olympics. So keep some of these powerhouses, they fall. We see a lot of African teams have success in the Olympics as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Kirk. Have a great night. Catch up with you next week.
Thank you. You too.
You as well. Kirk Stewart here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, Javon Burtz. We got baseball here, covering the Red Sox game. Catch him over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Catch him here. We'll find out about his video series. Of course, you'll catch him on the weekend show as well. Let's get Javon in right now. Javon, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? How are you?
Doing great. All right, here we go. Red Sox and Rangers head-to-head here. We see the Rangers favored $1.12. Total comes at 9.
Yeah, and I'm on the Red Sox. It's not often where, I'm actually playing the hometown team, rather for or against, but I think it's warranted in this spot. The Red Sox coming off a extended home series or home stand, and they're going on the road, which is, where they play better ball. They're 30-22 for the season, and they're playing a Rangers team who, the defending champs. Got to give them, their props for that, but they're having one of those type of years where they lost the World Series and are falling flat on their face, in the year after. That's the type of season that they're having. So I really don't get it. I mean, they have had injuries and all that, but the talent was still there to make a better showing of it. But the way they're looking in their current form, 1-5 in their last 6, not looking too hot. They got Jose Ureno on the mound, and if you know Jose Ureno, he's going to give it up. You know what I'm saying? So, on the other side is Cutter Crawford, and he hasn't looked too well in his last 2 starts, but he has, pitched better than that overall this season. So I expect that just to be a bump in the road and not who he really is. So I expect the bounce back situation from him being on the road. I believe his road home splits are better, on the road as opposed to at home. So, all systems go on that front. At the plate, it's advantage Red Sox. Their overall batting average is .257, but as of their last 10, they've been hitting the cover off the ball. I believe it's like in the 288, 290-ish range, somewhere around there. As opposed to the Rangers, they're not hard to play at all. Last 10 overall, last 5 doesn't really matter. So you're looking at 2 teams and going in different directions. got one team that's in the mix for the wild card. You got another team that at best fighting for their AL West lives. So the only advantage that the Rangers really have is in the bullpen, and that's not saying much because they're posting a 5+ ERA in their last 10, but the Red Sox are worse at a plus 9+ ERA. So it's really, for me, it's a wash. The Red Sox bullpen overall, and during the course of the season, have been better. So it's just one of those things where I think the Red Sox right the ship in that front on the back end of their pitching staff and get the job done. I believe they'll have a lead in the late innings and hold it down, for full game.
All right, Javon here on the Red Sox here, minus the 115. Yeah, hard to argue that here with this Red Sox, with their bats, where they're hitting right now. Urena boy. The travels for Urena from Miami to Colorado. It's weird, his travels, right? You go to Miami and then Colorado, then you end up on the World Series team.
Right. Hey, it is what it is, man. The thing, that's the thing about Major League Baseball. You can have these journeyman, pitchers. They'll get bounced around from team to team to team, sometimes in the same season. But overall, you got a lot of pitchers that have a lot of service time with a lot of different teams. So, Jose Urena, he looks like if he's not out of the league soon, then he's gonna be one of those guys that just bounces around from team to team.
Yeah, and they give him they put him in a starting role in a desperate situation. It's desperate right now. Time for Texas.
I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. I mean, wasn't Jacob deGrom supposed to be back by now?
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on with him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And listen, if I was the manager or if I was making the call over in the Rangers organization, I'd have to call somebody up from the minors. I wouldn't put Jose Urena on the mound. Simple as that.
Could you imagine being the GM, sitting in your box with with ownership around you, and you have Urena on the hill? Could you imagine that sinking feeling you must feel?
Hey, listen, especially if one goes over the fence.
I know. That's the scary part there. No doubt about that. And of course, interesting with this Red Sox team, they're kind of those guys that like to play the splits. Man, they can't win you money at home, but man, on the road, especially as a dog, they've been money this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And while technically they are a dog. Even though it's at basically even the couple cents on the minus side. Yeah, they are the dogs, and yeah, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, they've been getting it done on the road. So that's the time where you really have to back them. You know what I mean? Sometimes if they're underdog at home, pitching matchups, right, then, you could play them there. Not to say that, it's just one of those things where I really don't know what it is about their home play, because as of late, it's not like, so here's the thing about Fenway Park. Fenway Park is his historical place. So you have a lot of fans from different teams coming into town and really causing a ruckus in the home ballpark. So, but it hasn't been like that as of late because there's been more excitement. More of the home crowd has been coming in. So as of late, I don't know what it is, but yeah, beginning of the season, listen, fans, it doesn't matter what road team comes in. You're seeing them all over the city. You're seeing them in the ballpark. You're seeing them around the ballpark. It's really been like the Red Sox have been playing on the road at home.
Yep, that's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's, of course you have the Celtics and Bruins with deep runs too. So that doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. But but the Red Sox have garnered some excitement. So the last, I would say, 6 weeks, the fans have come, slowly but surely come back. They're suckering the fans back in. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Try to get me out, they pull me right back in.
Yeah, because they know it's gonna be a long fall and winter with the Patriots. So you got to get your Red Sox games in. All right.
Oh yeah. The glory days are gone for the Patriots. So
Yep.
we're gonna. Hey, it's still gonna be possible. Opportunities to make money with them. I'll say that though.
They used to be they're going to have to rename them Boston Patriots. Back to their losing days.
Like back in the 60s.
Yeah, 1670s. They're going to have to go back to the Boston Patriots when they were losing team. They lost that. When you lose too much, you got to lose your name. All right, here we go. Javon, Red Sox here. It's now the plus 102 tonight. All right, that's what they're going to. They may turn into the Boston Patriots, guys. They're now no longer New England. Got to look at them differently. All right, Javon, let's take a look over at Pick Dawgz for tonight's action. Of course, a lot of baseball and a whole lot of it. We got 14 games up there on the board. Football, we got football preseason. All 15 teams in next week. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I got a 5-pack going in MLB. I particularly like a few plays, so I got 5 up on the board there. Also got my standalone laser show play, my top play in the majors. So there's that. Preseason's here and popped off last night. It wasn't a full game, but the over was a casher. You know what I mean? So I had that. That line was dropping, and the more the line dropped, the more I liked the over. It's just one of those situations. But, yeah, that's just the preseason. We'll have that next week. We'll have a full slate of games, and, I'll be there for that. NFL season's here. I'm locked and loaded already, looking to make this another spectacular season. Matching with someone, for the 2-for-1 Handicapper promotional. And, check out certain long-term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly. Can't go wrong here at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dawgz. Let's get it.
Let's get it, guys. Got both John Burt's over at Pick Dawgz. We see great results of football. Good time to get on board with Javon. Long-term pass. Remember that 1-month pass covers you through all of the NFL preseason. 3 weeks of preseason. It's all covered, as well as college football. First week of for week 0, week 1, as well as all the MLB. All right, Javon, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again next week. And, of course, we'll catch up with your video series of the parlays on the weekend shows as well.
Yeah, absolutely. For the most part, putting those out almost every single day. Yesterday didn't put one out, but I'm right back on the saddle for tonight. So check that out. Still got some time to put that one in, that little 2-teamer. And of course the weekend shows, I'm there Saturday and Sunday per usual. And then right back here on the drive-thru.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications for Javon. Get him when he's live on the live shows and those video series. All right, Javon, have a great weekend. Catch up with you next week.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win. See you on Monday.
See you on Monday. Javon Burt's here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. Brian Bittler is up next. Catch him at Pick Dawgz. Brian, what's happening?
Oh, great to be with you here on a Friday, trying to get some winners out to you. It's been I'm looking forward to a good month of August with college football on the horizon.
That's right. Week 0 is coming up. Before you know it, it'll be, and of course, Temple is in action as well in week 1. We go here with Mr. Temple all season win total.
Temple and Oklahoma Sooners. That ought to be a classic.
Yeah, we missed you. We'll have to get you next week on the season. We missed your season win total. You were supposed to give us that, but we'll get it another time. But we go out. Your Phillies are not your Phillies. They're from your town. Philadelphia Phillies are heading the trip out to Seattle. Here we go. A sluggy National League team going to a park that favors pitching. Phillies, Mariners here, $1.11, total of 8.
Oh, for my best free NBA. For my best free Major League Baseball winner today, I'm looking at those Seattle Mariners and my hometown Philadelphia Phillies. Not going to say that there's two teams here going in opposite directions, but as a Phillies fan or Phillies better, you got to be worried about this team coming into this game after that humiliating series against the New York Yankees, where the Phillies' best arms, really got beaten and taken out behind the woodshed. You got rookie Tyler Phillips here for the Phillies. He has looked good, but I've seen this kid pitch in the minors, and I believe his career in the minor league, his ERA is around 4.80. Phillies, as a team, 3-10 over their last 13 games straight up, and this lineup just not coming through. And the bullpen has hit a rough patch as well. Seattle, I think this is a series that this team's got to have 31-23 straight up at home. You got my man Brian Wu on the mound. He's been a sturdy 4-1, 2.35 ERA, 0.89 WHIP. The problem with this guy is he doesn't really go deep in the games. But Seattle's bullpen, Seattle as a team has the second best ERA in baseball. Their main problem is not hitting the ball, and I think Tyler Phillips, his lucky streak comes to an end tonight. We'll take the Seattle Mariners here on the money line.
All right, we got Brian here on the Mariners money line here. Well, yeah, we get right there with the Seattle pitching here. Yeah, Seattle pitching is holding teams just 202 batting at home. So that pitching staff takes advantage of that hometown. And again, you're looking at a Mariners team this year, 31-23 at home this year.
Plus, they have, I think they have the best whip in baseball, and it's all about winning games at home. The Phillies probably the best team in baseball as far as winning their home games, but that's where you gotta make hay. And Seattle's got a little bit of ground to make up to get that playoff spot.
That's right. They got to make up that ground here. Of course, this situation here, and I've talked about before. When these power teams go into a interleague city out west, it's kind of difficult for them to get adjusted here. It's seen Seattle. Of course, nowadays they're going to see it every 2 years, not like what it used to be.
When I was younger, it was a rarity. The interleague games, you might have the Phillies and Orioles, Phillies, Yankees, Phillies, Red Sox, but you didn't see many Phillies and Seattle Mariners games. So now you're seeing interleague games every single day of the week.
Yeah, they play series now. They play everybody at least a 3-game series. Unless you're an interleague rival, then you play 2 at home, 2 on the road. I know Philadelphia is one of those rotating teams. They don't have a rival, so they got to rotate with 3 teams every third year and play them 4 times. Interesting read there if you want to take a look at interleague rivals. Why we see 2-game series and we see 3-game series. It's because some teams are designated as rivals, like the Mariners and Padres are rivals, so they play 2 at home, 2 on the road. That's kind of how the schedule works out. Brian, Mariners here -114 tonight against the Phillies. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at pick.com for nice action. Baseball on the board, 14-game prime. I'm looking at MLB Network. Looks like the Yankees will start in a rain delay tonight. What do you have going over at the site? As Brian's having a great year, 1,856 units of profit. Document over at the site.
Yesterday, an off day, 0-2, but overall, definitely a good solid year, and I'm setting up for to head into the weekend on fire. My best bet is my titanium play, $19 over at Pick. Also have a CFL winner for just $19. You can get all 3 of my premium picks, 2 baseball and 1 CFL, my square dance and 3-pack. 3 premium plays for $50. PickDawgz.com. Use code PICK at checkout. Save 15% off that. Also, the 2-for-1 capper special. Definitely pair me out with one of the all-star cappers here on Friday night. Definitely have a loaded capper card here. Good buddy Kevin Thomas and Rod Zabak coming up next. Any of those guys, definitely 2-for-1 capper special.
That's right, guys. Get up with Brian Bill over by Pick.com. You see the great results from Brian. All document over on the site. All right, Brian. When I was watching, I was thinking about that game. Some books graded it over, some graded it as no play, depending on what book you got it. Then I thought to myself, this is an interesting game because all 3 quarterbacks for Houston had NFL starting experience, and I think it was 2 of the 3 for Chicago as well.
Yeah, when I was looking at that game, and I had liked the under, and I saw. After I put it in, it dipped down to about 30.5 here. And when I looked at the Bears' 3 backup quarterbacks, just to me, I just didn't see how they were going to get the ball in the end zone. But maybe I should have went the opposite of my first thought because both teams seem to be able to get points on the board rather easily. Some nice backup play. You saw that wide receiver for the Chicago Bears make a nice play. They ended up ruling incomplete, but there's some talent out there for the Bears for sure.
And you kind of think about it here. Everybody's running a passing game. Right? And why would you? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you got 3 preseason games, sometimes 4 now with Hall of Fame game, and it's such a passing league. Why would you want to run the ball a lot in a preseason game? I would think if you got your backup QBs, your backup, you're looking at these receivers. I'm thinking throw. Forget this run game. We think back to these low-scoring games in a preseason. But the way the game has changed, to me, it makes no sense trying to establish a running game here in these preseason games. You want to see if your backup quarterback.
I wouldn't kick extra points either. I'd be going for 2. I'd go for a 2-point conversion after every score in these preseason games, just to practice that scenario. There's no sense kicking that extra point. But you're definitely right. Definitely a passive game. In the preseason, you don't want your running backs getting hurt, but we'll see how that goes. If they decide to throw the ball more, that would lead more to overs because less clock running overall.
Yeah, that's how I would think about it now with the changes. All right, Brian, we can catch your video series over on the site as well.
My sharp betting, contrarian predictions every day on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, and I'm definitely going to show up maybe both days this weekend, but at least one of the 2 weekend days, and argue sports with my good buddies over at PickDawgz.com. Should be a fun weekend.
Should be a fun weekend, guys. Get on over there and check it out. All right, Brian, have a great night. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks for having me, Tony. I'll catch you on Monday.
Got it. Brian Bittler here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. Kevin Thomas is up next. Catch him over at Pick Dawgz Premium. More baseball coverage. We're going to get that Mets game covered for you here on the show against the Angels. Oh, my, that Angels-Rockies game really got me burning yesterday. Oh, even so that Cubs game yesterday. Oh, those were two heartbreaking losses. All right, Kevin, what's happening?
Yeah, the Rockies, you can't look the other way with them, especially extra innings, and that's why I picked this game. I know Tyler Anderson. He's everyone's thinking, this guy's pretty damn good, and he is. But the problem is they just played 10 innings last night against Colorado, and what limited bullpen the Angels have, unless Tyler Anderson's going to go 9 innings complete game, there's no way the Angels are going to win this game. I know Paul Blackburn. He's the new member of the Mets. He's debuting tonight. He's only pitched 1 game so far this season, and it was as an A against these Angels. And the mixed results, even though he got the win, 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, but 2 of those hits were home runs, and they were early. And he settled down after that, so only giving up the 5 hits after, with the home runs isn't too bad for someone who hasn't pitched forever. That was his first game, I think, since like May, if I was reading that correctly. But the Mets are in the playoff hunt. They're 57-51. They're sitting 3rd in the NL East. With the way the Phillies are playing, they got them in the mirror, and they're sitting 4th in the NL wild card, and they're 1 game back. So the Mets need to win. They need to win now. I know Brandon Nimmo, he was questionable. He said he's going to play. He has great stats against Tyler Anderson. He's 5 for 12, batting .400. So he's my prop for this game. Mets Brandon Nimmo for the RBI. You can get it plus 160 at MGM. Mets also acquired Jesse Winker at the trade deadline. I love him, but he usually doesn't start against lefties. So if they do go to the bullpen, I don't know if he's going to start this game. The lineup wasn't out when I decided to take the Mets as this free winner. So Jesse Winker, he's a big addition to the team, especially since they're still missing Sterling Marte. We know how good his bat is. The Angels, they rank 24th in the bullpen, ERA over 4.32. Mets, they're almost halfway, a little under halfway at 4, but the Mets had the day off yesterday, so Stanek will be ready. You got Edwin Diaz ready. We all know the Angels traded their closer to my Phillies, so Carlos Estevez is now a Philly, and they also got rid of probably one of their better bullpen guys in Luis Garcia. So the Angels really have nothing in the tank when it comes to the bullpen. So like I said at the beginning, unless Tyler Anderson is going to pitch a complete game shutout, there's no way the Angels beat the Mets. I think the odds makers got this wrong at that juice of minus 120. I think it should be more like minus 156 to plus 136, if you ask me. So we're going to ride the Mets minus that 130.
Yeah, the Mets there at this price, minus 130 against the Angels. Yeah, the Angels couldn't hold a 2-run lead against Colorado, giving up that 2-run homer in the 9th and losing in extras. And the error there, yeah, they did. It was a sorry situation here. Again, the Anaheim Stadium is not really close to the beach. You don't get the marine layer in that stadium as much, so I don't think it's going to impact much of the Mets hitters. If this game were in San Diego, if this game were in Philadelphia, in Seattle, in Oakland, the Giants, or actually in Oakland, then you get that situation where you got like a Mets team going into an American League pitcher's park. But the Angels Stadium, of all the teams out west, it's further inland. It's not as close to the beach as you think. So I don't think it should impact the hitters. As a matter of fact, this Mets team, a pretty good hitting team on the road, about 267 and a plus 15 run differential.
Yeah, you know it's bad when you're pretty much out of everything, and all they talk about is Mike Trout, who probably hasn't played a full season in 10 years. All the storylines about Mike Trout, who cares? I mean, the guy can't stay healthy, we know. But that's what the Angels are hanging their hat on, shutting it down and stuff. So did it really matter? I mean, you talk about Ward and, guys like Zach Neto who are playing really good. And even my guy Moniak, now he's getting full time in the outfield. He's up over 200 after batting like 100 all season. is what they should be talking about. So the fact that they got to talk about Mike Trout just tells you the direction this team's headed.
Well, the reason they do it is because Mike Trout pays the bills. Artie doesn't have to dip into his bank account and cover the bills. That's the reason why they talk about Trout.
Yeah, you think they should be saying, "Oh, he might be coming back."
Yeah, I know.
Come watch him take some hitting practice before the game. Not all the fans are like throwing their tickets away. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's the same thing like LeBron James. LeBron James, the reason he's a Laker is he pays the bills, and Jeannie doesn't have to go in her trust fund to pay the bills or lay off people. That's what happens. You have to lay off people, and she doesn't have the heart to do that. That's why they keep them around. But here we go. Mets here minus 129 tonight. All right, Kevin, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium for tonight's action. We got a few games starting. Still a good board of baseball, about 12 games remaining. What do you have going over at the Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I have 3 still going tonight, but one is I did a total and a money line on the same game, so I didn't put it in a 3-pack. I would never do that. But when you start doing a write-up for a game that you like on the money line, and then you start thinking, oh my gosh, I love this total just as much. So I got hooked into that. I know most sites you can't, if you bet online, won't let you do a total in the money line. So they're both very good. And then I got my hidden gem in the later games. I think one of your cappers already talked about it, and I'm definitely on the opposite side. I don't care who's pitching. A lot of those guys, veteran guys, will go 4 innings and put up solid numbers. So I'm on the opposite side of one of the guys on one of my premium picks. So make sure to check that out. You got 7-day, 30-day. We got NFL, college football, preseason. I think last year I finished 11-6 in preseason NFL. Bad start. I won't blame Brian, but I kept me and him conversed, and we both agreed on the total going under. But he sold me on the Texans, but then I kept thinking, this Bears coach, he has to win. He needs to win them all. He wants to win them all. The Texans, Love, he don't care. He already knows his team's going to the playoffs. The Chicago Bears, they needed to win that game. And when that line was the -1 and then went to a plus, I'm thinking, everybody's on the Texans. I know it. And when I looked, the majority of the cappers were on the Texans. So I kicked myself in the ass, but, lesson learned. So when you're playing a team that has a coach on the hot seat, don't bet against him. If you have to bet the game, bet with him, because even though it's preseason, he wants to win them all, because he knows if he has a losing record this year with Caleb Williams and all those wide receivers, he's gone. So even the preseason, he wants to impress. So take that to the bank.
There you go. I got on with Kevin over at Pick Dog Premium. Get the long-term pass. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Kevin. It's always great having you show. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week. But I know you produce video content as well on the channel.
Yeah, YouTube channel. You go Pick Dawgz YouTube. No one does it bigger or better. Just go check it out. I think there's already like 190,000 subscribers. So right there, everybody's on board. But there's a lot more of you out there. It's free content you cannot miss. And all these cappers and a bunch of others all giving out free content daily. And I'm going to sign up for this weekend show one of these days. I went on the spreadsheet and it was still showing July 27th. So once they update that thing, I'm going to sign up for one of these days, so I'll probably see you there, Tony.
You got it. Kevin Thomas here on the Drive To. All right, let's continue on here on the show as we're ready to roll here with more coverage here with Rod Zawacki. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. He's always been good to us. I know there's a CFL game. We'll probably sneak that as his bonus today. We'll bring him in right now. Ready to roll with more baseball coverage here on the Drive Through. Let's see what we got here with Rod Zawacki. Rod, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much, Tony. Just getting ready for this weekend's action. Just think we watched almost 3/4 of that game for a push. Yeah, it didn't matter. Just
right.
About stuff. Unless you had a first half bet, you were good. Other than that, it was all that for nothing.
Some books graded the over and under. Some books did.
Yeah, some books, right? Yeah, I guess it depends. Some books, but we know what the rule is: 55 minutes.
In most places,
the game doesn't hit 55 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like a rain out.
DK on the totals, if it's settled If there's a settlement, then if it hits, it hits. So that's how they ruled it there. Tonight we go Giants and Reds. Looks like Snell gets them. This one was up in the air overnight, but we can confirm Snell. Looks like, and Giants $1.27 total 8.5.
Yeah, you look at this one. Yeah, Snell is confirmed to get the start here for the Giants here in this one. And you know what? Snell's been solid over his last few starts since his return. His last 4 starts have been pretty good. But we're looking deep diving into these last 3, and sub 1 ERA. He's got a .58 WHIP in those starts, averaging going 6-7 innings in some of these. Great for the Giants here in this spot, going against Andrew Abbott. And look, Andrew Abbott, the last couple times against these Giants, he's got a win. So I think the Giants are looking for a little bit of payback to Abbott in this spot, because Abbott over his last 3 has not been good. He's sporting a 5.79 ERA over his last 3, and he's got a 2 WHIP over his last 3. So struggling has been Abbott. I think the Giants bats can get to him tonight early. And then when it comes late in this game to the bullpen, well, the Giants got the better bullpen over the last 10 games, and I think they were able to shut down the Reds here. Especially when it comes to the bats, you look who's batting better over the last 10. It's been the Giants, hitting 251 over their last 10, while the Reds only hitting 217 over their last 10 games. So give me the Giants here in this one on the road.
All right, we got Rod here, Giants on the road here. We're seeing $1.27. Do your line shopping, get the best numbers. Yeah, the thing here with Snell is you need a deep team to go deep, because we know the issues here with this Giants bullpen.
We know big deep with the Giants bullpen. And what we see from Snell is him going 6-7 innings. And I think if the Giants can get 6-7 innings of work out of Snell tonight, they'll be, by the time you hit to 6-7, they'll have a nice little lead banked up there and be able to hold on late if the bullpen doesn't implode. I don't think they're going to have to use a whole lot of the bullpen here in this first game. I really think Snell is a solid start, as we've seen. His last 3, he's just been pitching solid. And I think we get a 7-inning jam out of Snell here.
Let's just hope that Snell talks to the pitching coach, talks to the manager, says, don't bring in that submarine guy. Just keep it. Just don't bring.
Yeah, don't bring in the submarine guy. No submarine Friday night. Definitely, it's Steak Friday, so we don't have to worry about submarine Friday night. We're should be good there. He'll be staying on the sideline. He's too busy.
Yeah, keep the submarine guy. Keep him out of there, because he's
we're
trouble.
Cincinnati, so we're not having to worry about too much submarine guys in the San Francisco Bay there. So we're good. There's no way to bring in the submarine guy in Cincinnati.
All right, here we go. We may need him because we got a rain delay. We got a rain delay in this game, just announced right now, as you see the graphics. So we're going to be under a rain.
Of course, always get a
so now we might need the submarine guy now.
Now we might need the submarine guy later. Yeah. Let's hope this rain delay isn't too long.
Not too long. Not too much water. We got to keep. You don't want that submarine guy in this game. He's trouble, man. This guy is bad.
Oh, I know he is. Shh, don't jinx it.
All right, Rod. CFL game kicking off here in about half an hour. Montreal, Hamilton. Montreal holding about 4.5 on the road. 51 total.
Yeah, you look at this one. Montreal should have Fajardo back at the helm for this one tonight. Back from his little injury stint, little pulled muscle. He's looking pretty good to start for Montreal in this one. And we've seen Bo Levi Mitchell play his best game last time for Hamilton. I know it was against a weaker foe in Toronto, but he's definitely picking up his game. I like the over in this game. I think both offenses are going to get some points, and defense not step up. I think we see one of those Friday night shootout type games. I think the over in this one.
All right, over in this one, and Giants here tonight from Rod Zawacki. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dawgz. Games on the board. About 10 games remaining here on the boards. Hitting the witching hour. What do you have going over at the site?
And over at Pick Dawgz Premium tonight, well, you know, it's Friday, so it's Steak Friday. I got 3 selections going, and in that Steak Friday package, it includes my 10-star play of the day, 29 and 22, the last 51 days with my 10-star play of the day. That important Friday, so probably get that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, I'll get some Monday plays thrown in there early, so it's like basically getting a 4-day pass or a 3-day pass. So join me. Let's crush the books this weekend.
Crush the books with Rod Zawacki over at Pick Dawgz. We see good results here in football. Football's on the way. You want to get a long-term pass, 1-day pass, 30-day pass covers the entire NFL preseason, as well as the first couple weeks of college football. All right, Rod, any other bonus?
I've got no bonus. No, I didn't like anybody for a home run tonight.
Home run prop?
Tough spot. No home run props tonight.
There you go. All right,
Take
Rod.
the Elks tomorrow. Take the
Elks
Elks
tomorrow.
The
There you
Elks.
go.
The Elks get their first win tomorrow in Saskatchewan. Elks. There's the bonus. Nice
you go.
money line price. I think I got a nice plus 150, plus 160. Did the Elks do outright the Saskatchewan Roughriders?
Nice. Any weekend appearances on the? Are you on the weekend shows?
That's why I'm giving you that one now. I've
All
got
right.
a prior engagement this weekend, so
All right.
normally you see me on the weekend shows, but this weekend I have to step away. I got some prior engagements. One of the rare weekend appearances that you will not see me this weekend. So
All right.
I'll try to throw something out on social media if I can for all the Pick Dawgz fam. Try to get winners. You know I love trying to get winners.
That's right.
Definitely. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, Tony, and we'll catch you on the drive-thru on Monday.
Catch you on Monday. Rod Zawacki here on the drive. Let's continue on here on the show, guys. Bringing Dana Lane. Catch him over at Pick Dawgz Stream. I'll bring Dana in with some baseball coverage at 8 Eastern time. So let's get him in right now. Ready to roll here. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Doing great. All right, we're hitting the witching hour. Liberty, know what's going on over at Pick Dawgz Stream before we get your game. As you know, great year in NFL, college football. Football in the air now. What's happening over the site?
Yeah, really good in college football in the NFL last year, over 4,000 units won. So make sure you get involved in that. I have my NFL preseason package locked and loaded on the website. You can take advantage of that right now as well. And last night, man, I was so jacked for preseason football to start, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait another week. It seems like, I don't know if it seems like this to you, Tony, but man, what have we had this game canceled like 6 times and 10 other rain delays or lightning delays, and it's just the Hall of Fame game is turning into a big tease.
Yeah, it certainly is. They got to probably get a roof. Find a place with a roof. That's what we got to do. We need to find a place with a roof.
Sounds like Vegas to me.
That's right. Let's get the Hall of Fame game in Vegas. Move the Hall of Fame to Vegas. We got a lot of Hall of Fame activities here, right?
So why not? Why not?
not?
Well, they moved the College Football Hall of Fame, so why not the NFL? But I think Canton would probably fight for that.
I know they would. All right, here we go. Rays, Astros tonight. Interesting one here. We've seen the Astros kind of creep up a bit here from the overnights. $1.53, total 7.5.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I'm more focused on the total here, but I'm a little surprised that we didn't see a total of 8 or 8.5. And of course, we know Dawgz is going to get the start tonight. He's a former first-round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and coming into this game, last 10 in the third innings, he's allowed 6 earned runs, a 5.23 ERA. So that's not exactly what we want to be looking at when we're looking at a lower total. And I think, from the Tampa Bay standpoint, I think they're probably going to leave him in a little bit longer than, even if he gets in trouble. I think they want to see him try to go deeper into games. I think they want to see him get into, real-time situations where he can work on his control. And it doesn't mean he walks a lot of guys, but it does mean he does have a lot of base runners he has to deal with. And I think a lot of times they would like more command and as far as quality pitches when he's ahead in the count. So I think those are the things that Kevin Cash is going to be looking at moving forward. And I know that they talked about, and of course they made a ton of moves, but I know that they talked about, hey, look, we're only 4.5 games out of that wild card right now. Division's not going to happen, but 4.5 games out. But I do think these moves of late with the Rosarina going out, I think that they are focused on what's going to happen down the road more so than next year, or this year. So that means, a guy like Dawgz, he might earlier in the year get taken out a little bit earlier. I think tonight that they'll leave him in and see what they have. And of course, we know that Kikuchi has a nickname on this show, and these two teams, I think it is specifically with Kikuchi and specifically with the Houston Astros, I think this is the time for both of them to hit the reset button here. And for Tampa Bay, it's good for them to get out of town, play a team that's not inside the American League. They really need to hit that reset button after a lot of moves. And from what I hear from that clubhouse, some were happy, some were not. And as far as the Astros are concerned, can't be happy losing 2 or 3 from the Pirates. This was a team that caught the Seattle Mariners and then went on kind of a little bit of a tailspin. They really need, with the series that they have coming up, 6 more games against Tampa Bay. They have a series against the Red Sox and the Rangers. This is really the start for them where they have to start playing good baseball. But to me, pitching-wise, there is nothing that warrants this 7.5. So I definitely like the over in this game.
Yeah, especially when you look at how Houston's hit the ball at home this year. They've done a really good job of hitting and producing runs.
Well, that's the other thing too. I mean, I think as far as Houston is concerned, there was a team. Now granted that the strength of Shane Baz is he's a strikeout pitcher. He's going up against a club tonight that's not a strikeout team. They have started to hit well, but unfortunately, they haven't pitched very well. They didn't pitch well against the Pirates. Framber Valdez pitched pretty good, but they have not pitched well, which is why for this under team, a team that has been a dominant under team for most of the year, has gone over the total of late. But I just think, hey, look, I think this Tampa Bay team, you cannot go on what you just saw. I know a lot of people will say, well, how are you going to score runs without a Rosarina in the lineup? Well, Rosarina really, even though his name was in the lineup, was hitting about 150 in the first 2 months of the year. He cranked it up to about 286 over the last three months. But if they, a guy like Dylan Carlson, I think that Tampa Bay thinks he's going to come in. They picked him up from St. Louis. I think they think he's going to come in and spell a Rosarina. But I think that they're going to be a lot better offensively than they have been. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction. And from what I hear in that clubhouse, that's kind of the case with the Rosarina, who is very well liked. And everybody knows that if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have made their World Series run. But I think this was the time to get him on out of there. Also, bullpen-wise, Sean Armstrong's no longer in that bullpen, and I think that that's going to hurt them as well. So a guy that's a big-time arm, big-time strikeout pitcher, not a guy you can go to anymore. So I think this 7.5 is very generous, which is why I'm going over that total.
All right, Dana here, over Rays and Astros. So we know what Dana has over at Pick Dawgz. Let everybody know about your video series as you go against the public betting.
Yep. Every day we comb over the early numbers and try to get you the best of the number and let you know where we disagree with the public. Sometimes we go with the public, but let you know basically where you're going to get the best number. We've been fantastic over the last week. You get a hold of those free picks. Been on fire, including a winner already today. So please go to YouTube channel, hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you to everybody who does that on a daily basis.
That's right, guys. Like, subscribe, set notifications. Be notified when Dana drops those videos against the public betting. Keep an eye on those. All right, Dana, as always, great having your show. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Okay, Tony, all the best. Have a great weekend.
You as well. Dan Lane here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the show. We're going to get right to the recap, and then we'll get my pick. And my pick starts in just a few minutes here, about 10 minutes from now. So let's go ahead and let's get to the recap for today's show. All right, we had Wayne like Crawford by KO, minus 135. Crawford plus 240 to get a KO in round 9 through 12. That's from Wayne, the big fight on pay-per-view over the weekend on Saturday. Jay Athletics plus 130. Kirk like Blue Jays, Yankees over 9. That's a rain delay right now. Javon Red Sox minus 115. Brian on the Mariners minus 114. Kevin on the Mets minus 129. Rod on the Giants minus 132. Dana here. Giants and Reds, by the way, are in a rain delay as well. Dana on Rays and Astros over 7.5. I'll be on the O's here minus 110. The game I like the most, let's go here with the Mets here with Kevin here. Mets minus 129. This is not really the pitcher's park that we see a lot of these West Coast teams are further inland from Orange County there in Anaheim. It's a bit of a drive to get to the beach there. So I'll go Mets here minus 129. All right, guys, as you know, the game I like here is going to be on the O's here, minus the 110. Here, let's just go ahead and get the board up. I had a football up there, right? Let's get the baseball up here, and we'll get to chew this. I'll let you see the odds screen here in a second. Let me pull it up here because I did cover the football game with you yesterday, which was a no play because the game didn't win about a little more than 3 quarters. And let's go ahead and we'll move the chains here. We're going to be looking at this Orioles game that begins in just about 10 minutes or so. Did I just pass it, I think? Orioles and Guardians. We're going to be here on the Orioles, as we talked about in this one. And I just wanted to make sure I got my notes together. Actually, let me make sure there's been no pitching change. Yep, still Creamer and Carrasco. That's the reason. Carrasco on the mound here for Cleveland. Baltimore's been a pretty good road hitting team this year, and their pitching staff holds opponents at 216 batting. They do have a plus 58 run differential on the road. We know the Guardians, other than the last game, they have been struggling over their past 10 games. Prior to yesterday's game, 221 the past 10 games hitting. Baltimore against elite teams have been good, 22-13 against teams with a 540 or higher win percentage, plus 16 in return. We like the Orioles in this one. Guys, check out Pick Dawgz. I got a best bet on the board right now, as well as a single play from Major League Baseball. Of course, you can get on board with my long-term pass. I have a three. You guys like that 3-day pass for the weekend. You get my premium plays for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with that 3-day pass, or go longer. Just remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, guys, now it's time to put in your show picks into the chat, and we'll read them off to you guys in a little bit. That's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're back on Monday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers from Pick Dawgz and Sport Chat Place. We'll get our plays for you in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show on the weekend, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Jay and the crew here from the Drive-Thru and more with picks for the Saturday card, Major League Baseball and more. Also, all the great video series up here. I mentioned 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools Show, roundtable discussion with professionals. He's also in there with his first 5. We've got also a video series here from Ron Romanelli with his Major League Baseball against the public betting here with Dana Lane. Sharp trading plays from Costi. Contrarian sharp plays from our man Brian Biller. Also, Dana coming in with against the public betting. We got those parlay shorts from Javon, parlay shorts from our man Brad Francis as well. He'll get you those Nerfies as well with Brad Francis. And of course, Kevin with his plays for you as well on the video series up here on Pick Dawgz. Kirk coming in with his MLB totals as well as his soccer picks. Guys, just make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so these videos get to you right away when they're released and uploaded on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel. All right, before we sign off, let's take a look here at the show picks. Blake coming in Padres run line. Agree there. Padres run line here against the Rockies from Blake. Smart Money bets likes Minnesota run line. And you like, well, obviously that Arizona team cash over. Ramon will take the Mets there. We've got, let's see what else we've got here. Let's see. On Stewart, Tigers and Diamondbacks, Yerfees. Plus odds. It's sprinkled over 1.5 runs there. Let's see what we got also here. Appreciate that. Stop Geoengineering. With that, let's see what else we have here. Ron Crawford show pick Colorado Rockies plus the 1.5 there. Mets run line from Justin 1890. Tomek Kuzi likes Yankees money line. Twins lay the run 1.5. Giants from Darlena Nipper. Blue Jays run line from D. Last call here before we close it out. All right, that'll do it. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from that. Wake up, guys. You guys have a great